Getting paid, paying bills, and having less than $100 left is what many Americans have to live on between paychecks. Gen Z and most millennials are in either one of two different categories. Owning homes, settling down, and starting families. Oh, the dream, right? Or most likely are far more similar to you and I watching this video and are trying to hold down two separate minimum wage jobs while dealing with roommates. Well, anyways, if you personally have been finding yourself enjoying these daily doomer commentaries over here on the page, then don't forget to like, comment your thoughts and opinions below, and subscribe to see my daily videos right here on the channel. And huge shout out to the handful of you folks who've been checking out those links down below in the description. Those are genuinely some of the best ways to support me and the content right here. Now, let's begin this shit show.
Anyone else worried about their bills right now? Like, for me personally, my take-home paychecks are less than how much I have to spend on bills per pay period. Like, I don't know what's happened in the last several months. Like, last year, I was in a position where I had enough money in my account to pay for my bills. Now, I'm worried that my account is going to overdraft because the amount I get paid is less than how much my bills cost for that pay period. And honestly, it's a scary feeling, like, to be in a position where you don't have enough money to pay your bills and you have to tap into your savings or you have to do a cash advancement or something like that. Like, that's really scary. And I fear that it's only going to get worse. Like, I might be in a position where I clear out my savings because I don't have enough money to pay my bills. Anyone else feel that way, or is it just me?
Now, it's so easy to say that some of these younger folks, some of these new adults, just need to stop overspending. They need to stop buying their $5 coffees and going on vacations. Although many people, at least many people I know, at least me, myself, and I, haven't got a $5 coffee in over a year and haven't been on vacation damn near ever in my life. Not since I was maybe 5, and my father, who was a boomer, paid for it. But at the end of the day, it's kind of crazy to think how times have changed so drastically in terms of people's modern finances. A lot of people want to say, why don't you just work harder? Why don't you get a better job? But a lot of jobs only really pay a certain amount per hourly rate. And with so many people trying to acquire these jobs, they really don't really have much budge room for you to negotiate a higher pay raise for a higher wage. So you're kind of stuck in the box of whatever they're willing to give you. And then as soon as you're there, there's already a line full of people willing to replace you if you ever get sick of what you probably are doing more than what you signed up for to begin with. We've all been there. I've definitely been there. So anyway, feel free to let me know down below in the comments if you find yourself commonly living paycheck to paycheck. If you personally find yourself struggling financially, I definitely have a couple of those payday loan apps. I always talk shit on here on the page, but I'm a brokey. I'm a, lower class, middle class. I don't even know if they even exist anymore. I'm a lower class individual here in the States. So a lot of these little traps to get ahead that really kind of just keep us falling behind, we need that to stay afloat. So what are your guys' thoughts, opinions? Do you guys use any of these little kind of like predatory ways to get ahead? Or I guess realistically stay afloat? Please let me know down below in the comments.
That's $350 a week that you make, okay? That's $1,400 a month that you're going to bring home. Okay, that's good. Okay, 1,400. Okay, so here we go. That's what you have. Okay, this is the money that you have. How much your rent cost?
$350. $200.
That's no $200 apartment. You can't even get a room. That's no $300.
It's like $270.
Yes.
$800.
That's the average. That really is the average apartment is $800. That's the average apartment is $800. Okay, but let's just say you're gonna live in some of the older apartments. You're gonna wait a second. I'm gonna let you live in an older apartment. No, I'm gonna let you live in an older apartment, and they're $550. So now you have $500 left. Okay, you gotta pay. Okay, so then your utilities. The water's included with your $500 apartment, okay? So you still have to pay electric bill, okay? So electric bill, I'm gonna say $120. So now you have $380, okay? So out of the $380, what else bills do you have to pay?
Gas.
And what cell phone? Gas for what? Gas for what?
For your food, like to make food.
Huh? For your what? Gas for your car?
Stove.
Oh, that's utilities.
Oh.
Okay, that's utilities. Yeah. So you said gas for what? Gas for your car? You don't have a car note up here. You don't have a car. You walking, pit and pat.
Food.
Okay, so cell phone, food. Okay, what else?
Water.
You gonna buy some bottled water that's in your food. What else you have to have? You gonna buy some deodorant?
Yeah.
some
Body
lotion,
wash.
a soap, all that. So we're gonna call those toiletries. What else you gonna have to buy?
Let me see.
Now, when you really break it down, like mathematically, which many people try to avoid doing, I mean, who really likes to go over the budget? That's yikes. But especially these days. But the thing about it is when you really break it down and really put it in perspective, and even these young kids that aren't even really in the mix yet and they're just anticipating their hell of a future right here in front of them, they can see how clearly the system is not really set up to be played, fairly. It's not really set up for any of us that are starting out to really, it's meant to be a struggle. It's meant to be hard. And then it seems that many people you find who are successful, they're there for a reason. They're more selfish. They're more, I'm not going to say they're all narcissists, but they're for themselves. That's why they're on the top, because, it's like they like got those clubs that we're not a part of. But anyway, do you find yourself constantly wondering, both the pile on pile on pile of bills that we already have coming in, and the more just constantly getting added on top of everything, with everything becoming now like electronic, there's pretty much a subscription for you to even run your washer and dryer system, and that's going to probably cost 5 to 10, 15, 20, a bazillion dollars a month. Who knows how long this will take? And then everything else just consistently goes up alongside it, which for the majority of us does not match our pay raise. And there's only so many hours in the day, so people just say work harder, why don't you get another job? There's only so much we can do that to a breaking point. And I think many people are reaching their breaking point or have been past it for quite some time now, and they're just kind of living on the edge, which is kind of, I feel like, why we have many people is kind of completely losing it. People are just completely sick of it all. People hate the current reality of the world. But I'd love to hear your personal perspective on any of this, as well as you can relate to anything discussed in this part of the video. Do you ever go over your budget and you're wondering, like, damn, where'd all the money go? Or damn, what the fuck? Anyway, let me know in the comments. I always love to read them.
People cannot afford to survive another day, and there will always, always be somebody behind a news desk, some journalist writing an article about why millennials are not buying homes, about why millennials are not having children. Oh, I don't know. Is it because the economy is collapsing and no matter how much money you make, it's never going to be enough? Could it be that people that already have children literally could not afford to have more because they can't afford the ones that they have now, and the people who don't have children are seeing all of us struggle and they're like, why the hell would I want to do that? Could it be that this generation is not gaslighting people into having kids? We're actually telling like the truth of what it's like to have kids and how hard it is, and people are actually listening as opposed to our parents that gaslit us into this shit? Could it be that, most of this generation is now priced out of homes, interest rates and home prices have made it impossible to buy, but even those people who are not priced out of homes are struggling to find houses that in their area that are actually for sale, that are like decently built and don't need to be completely remodeled from top to bottom? Like, I don't understand. Are these journalists just bored, or have they ran out of material? Are they gaslighting us? Like, what is the issue?
Now, Gen Z and Millennials are not having kids anymore. They don't want to have kids. They're refusing to procreate. They are asexual now. Nobody needs to have relationships. Dating apps are just for sexting. Who needs to go on dates when we can just spend that $15 for a coffee date on a subscription that'll last a month? Makes no sense. The world is messed up. But on paper, I can't really blame these young guys and these young girls who don't want to get used and are making money on OF, and these are young guys who don't want to just consistently get used for their money and end up getting cheated anyway. So it's definitely a weird situation right now, but it seems that the majority of people who do end up having kids are in the lower bracket of the financial, pyramid, where it's like, I feel like people who have so many kids are always people who live in like trailer parks. They don't really have much income coming in and they're living off the state. Fair enough. I know many people have kids to live off the state. That's a whole other video, and I've discussed that in the past in a far long ago video. You can feel free to check on my channel and find that. But it's just crazy to think how I feel like people who really have their shit together, and probably people who like are financially more like literate, people who really think through things, they think ahead, they end up not having kids because they're like, wow, that's such a burden, it's such a long thing. Unless they really genuinely want it, on paper it's like, well, maybe this kid doesn't make sense, maybe how old I am once they're 18, how old I'll be. They genuinely think it out. Versus the people who are on the lower ring of the financial pyramid, they probably don't really think much before they do things. That's why they're there. They just buy lottery tickets and they buy whatever cheap substances will satisfy them in the current moment, not really thinking about the longevity and what's next. Or anyway, I'm not trying to be judgmental, but I feel like this might have a big reason why the majority of people who are in the lower class have the majority of the kids. And maybe is that good for our future? Are we just raising idiots? Who knows? Let me know in the comments what you think down below. I'd love to know. I know there is this whole thing of like, they don't want us to have kids. They're trying to, stop the population from growing. But personally, if I can barely afford myself, can you blame me for not wanting a kid? Makes no sense to me, so let me know. Well, guys, that's going to wrap up another video discussing how the world is ending. We're all screwed, and make sure you hunker down, bunker up, and get your canned goods, because you're going to need them soon. Anyway, that's hopefully not the case. I feel like everything's going to be all right, at least, for the time being. But if you think anything is different, if you have any different thoughts, opinions regarding anything discussed in today's video, I'd love to hear them and read them and discuss them down below in the comments, so feel free to share them there. A huge shout out to the handful of you that continue to hop up over here, come back, and continue to support the channel, as well as check out some of those links down below in the description. Those are some of the best ways to support me and the content right here. A huge shout out to you guys. I hope you enjoyed. Hope to see you in the next one. And that's it for this one, so I'll see you in the next one. Bye.